Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Netherwar, Non-Player Characters. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will continue to be your humble game master for this series. Tonight we will be playing Mutants Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, which is produced by Green Ronin Publishing. It's a D20 system that focuses on exciting superhero action, the character creation system offering unlimited customization options to create your superhero. One thing I also really enjoy is the use of hero points to simulate, wonderful heroic things like pushing your character beyond their limits, modifying superpowers, rerolls, scene editing, all that sorts of fun stuff. They're earned by leaning into genre tropes, acting heroically, good role-playing jokes I think are funny, and suffering setbacks just like superheroes in other media. We have gathered some astonishing heroes tonight. Say, oh no, NPCs!
Oh no,
NPCs.
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing today, where else we can find them, and have them answer my question of the day, which is, if you could be an NPC in any universe, which would you choose, and what would be your job? Starting with Kevin.
My name is Kevin. I'm here for Mutants Masterminds Monday, and I keep busy off the internet the rest of the week. Otherwise, I'd be around more, and there are great shows here, so make sure you check those out. I tried to make the argument that since the DC Adventures build of the main characters are clearly not player character rules built, that I should be able to be Superman. But if they're going to veto that,
Veto.
and vetoed hard there. That's not good. I would be an X-wing pilot in the Star Wars universe because that's still the best starfighter out there. I'd be flying one of those bad boys. Lasers ablazing. Over to you, Jonesy.
It's nice knowing you, Kev. They never live through combat.
Better off than the Y-wing pilots.
Hey,
or the TIE fighter pilots.
I would be that Y-wing pilot who survived the Death Star attack. It was Wedge, Luke, Han, and that Y-wing guy.
I am Jonesy. I can be found here on Mondays on Mutants Masterminds, and I can also be found here as GM of Tales of the Finest on Tuesday nights. Tonight I will be playing Nick. He is the ghost boyfriend of Mortis, who I normally play. And yes, he is literally a ghost. As far as NPCs, I would be probably middle management in the city of Aldous, working at the Royal Academy, because Blue Rose is pretty chill, and if I work in the Royal Palace, I probably won't be the NPC that gets killed, because no one ever attacks the freaking capital city of Blue Rose.
Good choice.
Okay, hi, I'm Kat. Today I am playing Tracy, this Overdrive's girlfriend, because apparently I can only play characters that love Overdrive when they're not loved back. So that's what I'm playing. As for the question of the day, I settled on the Harry Potter universe at Hogwarts, and I would be a professor, but I would want it to be, after Voldemort's coming back, because I'm not trying to die. But I think that'd be cool to use all the magic and use stuff like that and harass children, because apparently Hogwarts professors just do whatever they want. So, yeah, I'll pass it to Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. I am here for Mutants Masterminds Monday. You can also find me over on our YouTube channel for our Storyforge series. Tonight I will be playing Sophie, the enigmatic love interest of Bowman, or, well, not entirely certain if she's a love interest, or at least Bowman wants to date her.
She is.
Oh, now you ship it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't ship it. I just am aware that it exists.
I've been in a few of those relationships.
Ooh. So, if I could be an NPC in any series, I would probably pick one of the trapped in an MMO animes that are out there. Be one of the blacksmiths that has to basically provide the hero's equipment, because I'd be raking in the dough with all of those stuck human protagonists in this anime MMO world that need equipment to survive on a daily basis.
It's awesome they can still access their mom's credit card in that universe.
Yeah, great, isn't it? Calvin, up to you.
All right. Well, my name is Calvin, and normally I would be playing Bowman, the incredible archer with all his trick arrows, but today I'll be playing his sidekick, Jason Harper, codename Unknown. I've been, pumping some hero points into him, so hopefully they're enough to survive the encounter that ended with Bowman getting wrecked. So we'll see how well he does. As for where else you can find me, of course, I'm over on the Win with Dice channel over on YouTube, where we do weekly GM tip and campaign recap podcasts. Just to, pass on some hopefully useful advice. And of course, we do streams of the Lancer RPG every now and then, so be sure to check those out. As for the question of the day, so NPC in any universe, what would I choose when I do my job? So I kind of went back and forth on this a whole bunch, but in the end, I started leaning towards, this might be a bit of a silly answer, I don't know, but I kind of leaned towards being, in the James Bond universe, just being one of the generic goons, just being a henchman, because while it normally does have a very explosive and violent ending, you get to see so many different interesting locales all over the world. There's volcano bases and underwater bases and submarines, and sometimes you can even be in a space base, if you're lucky. So while it might occasionally, at some point you might meet some guy who's like, my name's Bond, James Bond, and then suddenly you're dead, or you get blown up, or you get shot or whatever. Up until that point, you could be like just working on top of a mountain in a secret laboratory or whatever.
It's next to a ski chalet for some reason.
Exactly.
Beneath the ski chalet, and I was going there. That was exactly where my brain was going.
Yeah, I get to go exotic places, meet fun people.
Do
And
a little
die.
bit of evil.
Yeah, you meet so many interesting people with knife hats and shark teeth.
And flat tops. Oh wait, no, that's a detective in a yellow coat. Never mind.
Awesome. As for my answer to the question, I also want to live in the Star Wars universe, but I want to be an employee at Dexter's Diner on Coruscant.
What?
And just live in that nice 50s diner serving Jawa juice to Obi-Wan Kenobi and trying to get it in with him.
Okay.
Why is there a 50s tire?
Well, every timeline's got to have a 50s somewhere, right?
Sure.
True enough.
Sure.
Although in Star Wars, that's a long time ago, so technically that's a retro-futuristic diner.
Oh Lord.
He was ahead of the curve.
Oh boy.
Just because that place seems safe, and there's Jedi around, and that's the best part of the timeline in the galactic history. It's right before the Clone Wars happens.
But then the Jedi aren't there anymore, Alex. Is it safe after that?
Well, there's probably Imperial guys who come into the diner. And as the human employee, I would probably be given the diner when the Empire kicked all the aliens off the planet.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's a solid business plan.
Wow. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Having read some of the novels that take place in Coruscant. No, I think I pass.
My other answer was a cupbearer in Game of Thrones, so that's not good.
What?
Oh!
I just want to live somewhere
Yours.
dangerous.
Apparently.
Why?
And to think I caught flack for wanting to be an X-Wing pilot. At least I can take somebody with me.
Yeah. Unnamed X-Wing pilots are canon fodder. It's like, you might as well be wearing a red shirt and going, I want to be in Star Trek. So,
But what if you were in the original series movie era when everybody wore a red shirt?
you don't have a name. A perfect example, ask the guy from Galaxy's Quest. I don't have a name, that means I'm going to die!
Now, just because you're an NPC doesn't mean you don't have a name. Wedge technically qualifies as an NPC. He was an X-Wing pilot. And
Wedge is the hero of that story. I don't want to hear it.
What? Get out of here.
Wedge
Wedge
and
got-
Rogue Squadron got way better when Commander Skywalker left.
Since Wedge
beside
got
the
a
point.
name, he no longer was an NPC.
That's how you graduate.
It's like giving
See-
an elf a sock. Like that's like, you know.
See, NPCs gotta have a name. You can't have people roll into town and go, "Okay, I'm going to talk to the tavern owner. It's a Sweetwater Phil." Like, who is that? Like, no, NPCs gotta have a name.
Every NPC from now on is gonna be named Sweetwater Phil.
I know, like Sweetwater Phil's a name.
That's an inside joke for the Crimson Hand, and Brett will die a little bit inside every time you say it. Just like the crate question.
Oh. All right, here we go. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Last time on Netherwar, our heroes found themselves scattered in Overdriveless after a terrible confrontation with Godspeed and Strikeout. Some of them made their way back to Freedom Hall to plan their next move. Once there, they met Daedalus as well as the Atom family, who had been monitoring the dimensional incursions. They discovered that there was a massive speed wake leading towards Emerald City out west. Meanwhile, at the Nerian Nexus, Resonant worked with Sala to track the Chronozoid more and acquire some more information about what Glimpse is and how to possibly get a hold of him. Tess Atom arrived shortly after and introduced Resonant to Dr. Atom, who had apparently been to Lafandi a lifetime ago and had known her uncle General Acosta. He asked her to take him along with her when she returned to Lafandi to help set her uncle straight. The group decided before heading to Emerald City that they would wrap up the other Wellspring incursions in Freedom City, starting with Tracy and Dave's house. Also, Daedalus assigned Bolt to this mission with the Freedom League Dark, so Kevin didn't have to be left out of the day's festivities, and so Catherine could suffer, because that's what I live for. They went to Tracy's and split up, Bowman and Bolt sneaking into the cellar, Mortis flying up and feeling some Una energy emanating off the house, and Centuria knocking on the front door. Once inside, it became clear something was up when Stepford Dave turned into a tentacle monster and attacked Centuria, and Tracy revealed herself as Tracy, Queen of the Netherworld. The group also found Davy in the cellar and rescued him. It turned out the original Overdrive had found his essence shunted into the action figure. After a spectacular explosion caused by a gas leak, the gang vanquished Tracy and her Dave spawns and made their way to Lantern Hill to question Lantern Jack about the other Wellspring anomaly. Lantern Jack informed the group that this was where Godspeed and Strikeout had entered Earth Prime. They destroyed a bunch of things and took off. However, another speedster, a woman, showed up and investigated the scene before taking off into the night. The final scene of the night was Overdrive arriving in Emerald City, being thrown at the feet of his father, now calling himself Overlord. Overlord said that he wasn't the right Dave before draining his speed and locking him away with the previously abducted NPCs, Tracy, Sophie, Jason, and Nick, which is where we enter our story tonight. So, Overdrive, you're sort of thrown roughly on the ground in a walk-in freezer at the back of this abandoned, you think it's a meatpacking facility. You could say it's a walk-in fridge, if you wanted to.
Okay.
Oh, great. They threw another one in with us. This one looks like one of the heroes.
Tracy sort of like throws herself at you. Dave, thank God you're here. Are you okay? Did they hurt you?
Yes. I'm sorry. Who are you?
It's me. It's Tracy. She'll look back at everybody else like, I think they took his memories.
Oh, you must be. Yeah. I'm sorry. I think there's been a mistake. I'm not the Dave that you know.
Dave, what are you talking about? You're literally Dave. Like, I can see you.
Okay, but I don't. They told me that the Dave from this timeline had a relationship with a Tracy, but I've never met you before. Now, I mean, I'm sorry that you're here and you're mixed up in all this, but I don't know you.
Oh, okay, well.
So then, who are you? As
I'm
Jason's trying to like look tough as he's like shivering both from fear and from the cold.
I'm Overdrive. Um, a question for the GM. Do I recognize Nick at least? Like, I don't think I know any of these other people. Okay. So, yes, you're Mortis's. You're Derek's husband. Yes.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
Oh, see it in my world. You're already married. I mean, obviously you seem much younger than I remember, so there's some time differential there. So I don't know if you can help me explain. I don't mean to cause any problems here, but I'm not the Dave you're looking for.
I'm older?
Honey, I think he said you were younger, older in his timeline.
Yeah, you're younger now than I remember when I saw you last, because in my time it's not now, it's later. I'm sorry, explaining time travel to non-speedsters can be difficult.
Speaking of non-speedsters, can't help but notice you're moving a little slow.
Yeah, I hate
Little normal
my
speed, I should
powers.
say.
My powers are gone. I don't know if that's permanent. I don't know how they're doing it.
Oh, great.
So if you're here, where is my Dave?
And where's Mortis and Resonant and the rest of the league? Do you know?
I don't know. These other speedsters are just beyond my ability to process or comprehend, and they are all hyped up. Uh, yeah.
Well, do
it's
you
almost-
have any useful information for us, or are we all just trapped in here with you now?
Well, there's some kind of. Well, I just got here last, so I was hoping you'd had useful information for me.
We were drugged in here by a couple other speedsters. One wearing white, one wearing what's it called? Some sort of rejected baseball outfit. No, it had a baseball bat.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly a blur.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least let me check you over and make sure that you're physically okay.
Okay.
And were there guards outside guarding the door, or did they just throw you in here and walk?
They just threw me in here.
Jason's gonna shuffle over and check out the door. I'm assuming it's locked, but I want to see what kind of lock we're dealing with.
I could try to see if I can get the door open.
Yeah, that's a 9 for perception.
So I might do something that might freak a couple of you out. Please don't freak. Looking over at Jason and the rest of the group.
Okay.
I live in Freedom City. It's attacked regularly by aliens, supervillains, monsters from beneath the earth. What could you possibly do that would freak me out?
And with that, I take off my ring and therefore turn insubstantial and turn into a ghost.
Sophie kind of like she's in the middle of saying that, and she kind of like purses her lips and goes, "Ah."
Well, didn't see that coming.
And then I will try to go through the door.
Excellent. Please give me a fortitude save.
Ooh. Do I have to?
I mean, you can choose to fail if you want.
Wow.
Holy smoke! 23.
Take
Yay!
that.
So Nick, you begin to phase your particles through the door, and you feel there's definitely some kind of technological barrier here that's trying to force your particles to remain in place, because they're used to holding speedsters in these cells. But you're able to, grit your teeth and force your way through the door, and you emerge into just a big abandoned industrial hallway. Off to your left, you see a bunch of broken glass windows that go all the way down to looks like some kind of former meat storage area. You see a bunch of meat hooks and various conveyor belts and things down on that end. You also see there are two men standing outside the door with assault rifles, wearing body armor. They're not wearing any helmets or masks. They're both Cody.
What? Man. All my characters get maligned in this game.
And do they spot me or recognize me or react, or are they too far from to see me?
They don't seem to have noticed you yet, but I would like a
But
stealth check.
But they're right outside the door.
Yes.
12. Apparently, I got my one good roll to go through the door, so I got 12, which is fine.
Commando Cody, here we go.
Does he get a circumstance bonus for being insubstantial?
You know what, I'm gonna say yeah. The two Codys don't seem to have noticed you. They're kind of standing at attention. It looks like they've been tasked with protecting this door. Further on down the other side of the corridor, it looks like it goes up just very quickly around a corner up on the end.
Well, I'm going to do my best to try to possess the Cody.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a possession attack. And they are flat-footed. They're vulnerable for this.
Yeah, these are substantially weaker than what the boyfriend could do. I got a 13.
Because they're vulnerable, that is a hit. We'll save DC 15. So you kind of reach in and you start touching this Cody, trying to enter into him and trying to possess his mind. And there's just something in there that's just playing on repeat. It sounds like the song "Physical" by Olivia Newton-John. And when he feels that, he kind of looks at you. He says, "Hey, you're not supposed to be out here."
Do we hear that from inside?
You do hear that from inside. Get back in the cell.
You gonna? Oh, I can't. You gonna open the door for me? I fell out.
Roll a deception check. I fell out.
I fell out.
I believe that.
That's not technically false.
5.
It was not meant to be.
Oh boy.
Cody can still roll a 1.
Yes, sure. It is Cody. Come on now.
Come on, Cody. Be a Cody. Roll a 1.
Oh.
He doesn't have a modifier to insight, but
I feel hurt by this build. This build of Cody, I feel, is intentionally hurtful.
It's not your Cody, Kevin. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, that's what they always
Every
say.
other Cody.
The other Cody.
Okay, so Cody rolls a 16. He says, No, you're not tricking me like that. The last Nick we had in here did that.
The last Nick you had in here?
And he's going to say blast him.
That's weird.
Tracy will speak up if I know that this is going on.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody. Good to see you.
You can't see me. You're on this. You're in the cell.
Well, good to hear you. What are you doing out there?
My job
What is your job?
to keep you locked up here.
You know, I really have to pee. Can you open this door?
Roll a deception check. Unless you really have to pee, then roll a persuasion check.
As much as I would love to roll the persuasion, I definitely don't have to pee. 15. Not bad.
Yeah.
Stop!
Wow.
Cody's
Cody is
never
on
this
the ball
confident.
today.
Great.
He's on it. What about the other Cody? Aren't there two?
There are, but this Cody's in charge. This is Commando Cody.
Uh,
And he
He's
says,
wearing the football helmet and everything.
he says, we left a 5-gallon bucket in there for you for that.
I am not using this bucket. That's gross and unsanitary.
I don't know what to tell you. You're a prisoner. Dave said so.
Dave?
What? I said no such thing.
Not you,
Yeah,
Dave.
Dave is in here.
The real Dave.
What do you mean the real Dave?
My Dave.
Who is your Dave?
And how do you know he's the real Dave?
Yeah, that's a good question, Cody.
Because we came
I
here
think
together.
this is the real Dave, actually.
Did you though? Are you absolutely certain? Did you step through a portal?
You guys
An
are all-
apparition?
You've seen a lot of Daves today, and they move pretty fast. If you blink, you might have been standing next to the wrong one.
I feel ganged up on.
As well, you should.
I think this calls for a team check deception. So whoever wants to be the primary person, everybody else will roll to aid them. And Tracy, you have teamwork, so you get a +5 to assist in team checks.
Love that.
And while they're all trying to confuse Commander Cody, I'm slowly still trying to see if I can worm my way into other Cody's brain.
Yeah, go for it.
Execute Order 66.
All right.
Is Tracy our lead deceiver?
Hey,
I don't think so.
Even with a +5?
I don't think. No, she
I
gets.
think you get a +5 regardless. So if somebody has a better deception than 1,
I don't.
you should probably.
I do.
So do I.
Hmm.
Ah,
I think Sophie's probably the lead deceiver, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Sophie being
That doesn't
shady.
make me feel good.
And the rest of us are just helping.
Yep, so everybody but Sophie and Nick, because Nick is doing his possession thing, roll a deception check for me. And Tracy, you'll get a +5 to this roll.
Oh, geez. There you go, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah, 27.
that makes mine a 19.
Awesome. So all three of you did succeed to 8, which is fitting. Sophie, you will get a +5 to this check.
Adding it to the sheets and making the roll. Okay, 22.
22, that's not a bad roll.
Because we can't all crit.
Why not?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Before I say what happens, Nick,
Oh.
please go ahead and roll your possession check on the other Cody.
That's not good.
Um, he's not vulnerable this time, so that won't hit. He kind of like backs away from you, like, no, you're that ghost guy. I'm not trying to get any ghosts in my brain.
Insane in the membrane. Insane in
But-
the ghost brain.
Commander Cody kind of looks over at the other one. He's like, "Yeah, how do we know that is the real Dave?"
Oh, Cody, don't ever change.
Are you sure you're the real Dave in there?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely the real Dave.
All right, we're gonna let you out.
Okay.
And Commander Cody
Gotta-
will pull out
Are we
a
gonna jump him?
And I order you to let Tracy out to go to the bathroom. I'll bucket. That's uncalled for.
At least we left the bucket. We could have just made you go in the corner like the last group.
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
tase him
disgusting.
as soon as he opens the door.
Yeah, do we have our stuff? Because I might just have to swing the bucket at him if we don't.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll say that they didn't disarm you because they're not worried about you.
Okay. I kind of want to swing.
Rude.
All right.
You can still swing the bucket at him.
Yes.
But
I hope
command.
somebody's used the bucket so that it's just like pee.
No.
Roll a fortitude
Ow.
save.
So foul.
What are Tate's save who? Oh, for the pee in the bucket?
Yeah.
I meant swing it like a blunt object, not out the.
Oh,
I'm gonna pour it on him like a
Gosh.
Gatorade cooler at a
Yeesh.
football game.
I'm just gonna use. I'm just gonna use my equipment. then.
Anyway.
God.
I mean, the affliction might be more damaging.
So Commander Cody will turn around.
So
He will
wrong.
unlock the padlock. You hear it fall to the ground, and he'll open the door to the freezer. He says, "Okay, Dave, what do you want now?" And then I assume he gets tased in the face.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Tase your face.
Yes. You want me to roll for it?
Yep. Go ahead and roll to tase.
17.
That will hit.
Okay. Hey!
And he is a minion. So how do you take him down?
I literally just jump onto him and just tase him. That's all. I tase him in the neck though, because I'm a doctor and I know vital points.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
So poor Commando Cody goes down like a stack of bricks. Jason, do you want to swing the bucket at the other one?
It'd be smarter to use the crossbow, but I really want to. I love the image of just like clonking him with this bucket. So. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna hope I get a good roll. I just don't know. I guess I'll just roll an unarmed attack,
Yeah. Yep.
I think. Oh shoot, I don't think I have my unarmed attack set up here. Nope, I did not set it up as an attack. I'm just gonna roll an unarmed check real quick, and then I will put that in off my turn.
20 will hit. What's your strength?
Strength of 2.
So DC
Yeah.
17.
Jason has the same strength as Tracy.
Yeah, look, I only have 40 points on Jason. I had to make.
He's just a kid. He's
I had
just
to cut some corners.
Leave Team Jason alone.
Thank you.
You take him down, Jason. What happens?
So as one of them is getting tased, Jason's just like holding this. I'm assuming it's like a big metal bucket with like 2 hands, and then he just like raises it up and slams it down on the head of the other one, who is currently distracted by partial ghost possession and his partner being tased.
Excellent. So that's 2 Codys down. Who knows how many to go?
Wyatt, you want to let everyone else know that we're free? Drag these guys back into the cell. Let's see if they've got
Yes.
anything on them we can use.
Drag them into the cell, checking for keys and anything else useful.
Commander Cody does have a ring of keys. Just a lot of different various brass and copper keys. One in particular looks like a very ancient key.
That seems out of place.
They both also have laser rifles and body armor. And one of them has half of a Charleston chew in his pocket.
So Tracy's Sophie's gonna start stripping the body armor off of the 2 Codys. She's gonna throw one suit at Jason, and she'll throw the other suit over to Tracy when she gets done. And
You
she'll
don't
look
need
over-
any armor?
I do, but you know what? You've got that. And she points at the crossbow. You're gonna be target number 1.
Right, yeah, okay.
So, Mr. Speedster, that's not a speedster any longer. You recognize anything on that key ring?
One of these keys looks really, really old. I'm not sure what it's to.
Well, they're guards. More than likely, those are keys to other cells. Maybe not the old key.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. It's odd that he would have this key that seems, I don't know, out of place. There's no like interface terminals in here.
No.
Right. They have laser rifles. We could assume this is a fairly high-tech facility on some level. So we need to get to some kind of terminal and maybe access and figure out where we are in this facility and where other important things are.
Question for you. If you're minus your speed, are any of the other ones that they captured minus theirs as well?
I would assume so, but obviously they can decide who gets drained of powers and who doesn't. Because Godspeed and the other one with the baseball bat are clearly still very, very peppy.
Well, we can clearly assume that the ones that still have their powers then are probably the bad guys, and we don't want to be messing with those.
Correct.
Darn, I was hoping we could cause a speedster prison break, and that would cover our escape. But that doesn't look to be the case.
Yes, if they're capable of stealing speed power, I'm assuming that's what they're doing to anyone they're locking up here.
Does anyone know how to shoot? They didn't exactly teach that to me at medical schools.
But in the absence of anyone skilled at shooting, it might be best for the guards to have the rifles at least as part of your disguise, unless someone is a better shot and would feel more useful armed.
Not me.
I could give it a try, but
I mean, shooting is just a point-and-click interface, but
Does the guards have any kind of walkie-talkies or earpieces or?
They do have earpieces, yes. They do have earpieces, yes.
At least we maybe we'll eavesdrop on what they're.
That's a good idea. That's a good
Guys
idea.
chatting about.
okay. So let's take all their stuff then.
Yeah.
And then relock this door.
Yes.
All right. So you take all your stuff and you guys relock the door, locking the Cody's in there and their skivvies.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the bucket behind, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, if you need to go, use the bucket."
This bucket has rejected you.
He's
Oh,
not
no.
there yet.
So you all lock the door. Everybody give me a perception check.
Okay.
31.
Okay. I thought my 20 was pretty good.
it is for normal average human man.
So Tracy and Overdrive, you all hear a voice coming down the hallway saying, hey Cody, how's it going with them? You having any trouble down there? And you hear footsteps coming down the hallway.
What did the voice sound like?
It sounded like Dave's voice.
Like me voice?
Yeah, like your voice.
Tracy will whisper to Dave, like, you know what Cody sounds like.
Yeah,
Yell back.
I'll try. So, no, boss, everything's okay in here. It's all good.
Roll a
How are you?
deception check.
It's all fine. It's all fine. How are you?
Stupid conversation anyway. 15.
Oh, man. Custom villains. Oh, where did I put them? There he is.
Everybody at home, Alex rolled a natural 1.
Yes. For a total of 1.
One.
Sounds
Hey,
good,
Becky.
Cody. If you need anything, let me know.
Oh, you got it, boss.
I'm gonna go check on Tracy. And he'll go away because I will hide.
I'm gonna check on Tracy. How many Tracys are here?
Yeah, this is not good. I will sort of look alarmed at Tracy, saying he's going somewhere and thinking, like whispering, he's going somewhere else to check on you.
Well, I'm assuming if you're from another timeline, there are more of me.
Kind of got the
Makes
impression
sense.
there's more than one Nick too.
Which makes little sense as to why they're kidnapping a bunch of us from different timelines. Since, you know what? Never mind. Time travel's weird.
Yeah.
Can we get out of here?
Let's try.
Like,
All right. So we'll start.
Who are you
slinking.
two even close with? She'll point at Sophie and Jason.
hey, I don't know the motivations of interdimensional speedsters. All right, maybe they're just grabbing random people at this point.
Uh-huh.
It's okay, Tracy.
All right, well, let's just get out of here. This has been weird enough for me.
Yes. Quite. Can we move now?
Let's.
I do have a quick question. While I'm holding one of these rifles, I was wondering if there might be some way to disable it that I can maybe learn for the future if we come across more of them that aren't in our hands.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a technology check.
Okay, one useful skill. Don't roll a 1.
Nice. So, Jason, you're kind of looking at it, and you are reasonably sure if you can get your hands on one that somebody is using, you know how to disable it.
Okay.
You think with some time you might be able to come up with a remote way to do it, but you would need some tools and some equipment. So, you all are going to try and sneak around the facility now, so I'm going to make this a skill challenge. Everybody please go ahead and give me... we're going to start with Tracy and sort of work our way around. Which skills are you using to contribute to the challenge?
Would like to use my, science knowledge, but I don't know what I would use for. So, I could use perception to look around the corners, make sure that nobody's around, see if I can find anything that will help in our escape.
Excellent.
Or not. Got a 1.
You
Can
can
I re-roll that, or is that automatically fail?
you can reroll it with your hero point if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna hopefully I don't die later. 24, that's good.
Excellent. You so that is going to be a success, or 2 successes. Sorry, 2 successes. As you're sort of looking around, you do find there are a few guard patrols that you're sort of running into. It looks like a bunch of these Codys are around, dressed in this commando armor. You also do catch sight of Godspeed in her white uniform, and she looks just like you, Tracy, with her mask off. She's looking annoyed at a couple of the Codys when you see her.
As they go, hey, how you doing, boss?
Oh, jeez.
They are not that brave.
Right.
They might be thinking it.
Oh, they're definitely thinking it.
Hey guys, heads up. One of the bad guys looks like me. So make sure if you hit them, you hit her, not me.
Maybe we can use that to our advantage. Or at least against more of the Codys. Or more of the, I don't know if I know the name, more of the not so smart guys.
Hey. I have no reason to be offended by that. I'm dying inside.
Awesome.
All right. Who's next in the skill
uh,
challenge?
Over to Sophie.
Okay. Let's see here. I think that Sophie would like to help out by... I can use deception to cause minor distractions, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So like just differing sounds in different areas that would cause patrols to go off into different directions. So we'll go with that. That is a 30.
Jeez.
30 and not a crit. Oh, that is your perception.
Sophie's bad.
Wouldn't you
She's a
like to
bad
know?
person,
I would,
swear.
yes.
Now Bowman's getting nervous. It's in some other part of the universe. Like, oh shit, that girl got massive perception.
So that is 3 successes for the skill challenge. Wow, that was a high roll.
That was.
You're, go ahead and narrate sort of how Sophie's going through with this.
So Sophie will get up to different points and kind of just look. She'll slip away from the group for just like a surreptitious moment, and you'll hear like a clattering of like a pallet or the bouncing of like something falling from something onto the floor. So you get that metal clattering like a wrench or a hammer or something like that, just randomly throughout different places, and they're always away from the direction that the group is going in.
Excellent. Calvin, what is Jason doing?
I'm trying to think of a way to apply my technological skills. Perhaps in the vein of distraction, he could use his skills of technology to know just the right way to cut off power to a certain area of the building that they're not close to. Maybe as a temporary distraction, so someone has to go there and maybe fix like a fuse box or something.
So Jason's like opening wall panels and messing with wires and stuff.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me a technology check. And I assume he's using his screwdriver arrow.
Yeah, the arrow has like a Phillips head on it. Well, a bolt, actually, because he uses the
Yeah.
crossbow.
Oh, I only brought my Allen wrench bolt. I forgot my Phillips at home. All right, 26 is going to be 3 successes. So what's happening, Jason, as you're going through?
So he is kind of just like, as he's walking along, he does have the crossbow at his hip, and he's holding the rifle in his hand, and just feels a bit, heavy and weighty in his hands, feeling this tool of destruction. But he does notice a wall panel off to the side, so he sort of, like, that immediately distracts him, just seeing this new thing off in his peripheral vision. He tracks towards it, opens it up, and it takes him like a short amount of time to figure out what he can do with it, and then probably just hiding a smirk to himself, he sets about like turning off the lights or setting to start like flickering at different intervals somehow in a far off part of the building.
Awesome.
And then waits to listen and see if it works on anyone.
Overdrive. Or just drive at this point.
Yeah. Hey.
Or just over.
Just over. I guess, being other drive and having been on the Freedom League for years and whatnot, I would, as we're creeping about in the facility, just start looking for the type of fiber optic cables that would lead to a fairly well-established tech center. Maybe using perception to sort of examine like various trunks of wiring and intersections of different things as we're sneaking about.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Ooh, 26.
Awesome. So overdrive, that is 3 successes. Wow, you guys are up.
Wait, is that 4?
No, you got 3 successes.
You got 3.
Okay.
That's 3 degrees of success for your roll.
Oh, okay. Ooh, I can take that. Yeah.
So as you're sort of looking at these fiber optic cables, you notice a couple of things. They all seem a little too old and worn out to do what you would imagine that they should be doing. But there does seem to be some kind of strange, almost like purple energy passing through these cords.
I'll point that out to the others.
Really?
You said purple.
What?
Did you say purple?
I don't know. I didn't hear. Did you say purple, Alex?
I did say purple, yes.
Okay, sorry. You cut out a little bit there. I must have missed that part.
Oh.
I just heard strange energy. Okay, yeah, purple. You guys not see that?
Can we figure out what that is or where that's coming from?
Well, would you like? Alex, would you like me to make an occult check to be part of my skill challenge?
I would love for you to do that.
25.
Awesome. That is definitely magical energy. And it looks like it is being routed somewhere into the center of this building. You think that the security cameras in this building may be magical based instead of technologically based.
This is really weird. It seems to be some sort of mystical energy, and that's what's powering everything, which is odd because it looks over at Dave. Overdrive is much more of a science guy than a magic guy.
Yeah.
I thought that was the thing with the Freedom League Dark, though, that was that they were the whole magic shtick, right?
Not
Some
all
more
of
than
them.
some more than others. Some of them just kind of help support and shoot stuff.
But isn't there a reason there's a whole lot of mystical hoodoo going around Freedom City? Didn't the newspaper report something about, what was his name? Adrian Eldridge and his pupil both dead? Like, not obviously Eldridge not recently, but his pupil not that long ago, a few years ago.
Quite a number of years ago, but yes. I think this has something to do with that.
Well, Nick, you're probably our only expert on the occult present. Do you feel like you could unravel this a little bit if we could?
All of a sudden, Nick, who's pale as a ghost, looks paler for a moment.
What?
Nick?
This is a ghost thing?
Can I see that key?
Yeah. I'll hold the key ring out.
Steve might be jumping into Jonesy might be jumping to conclusions, but does that? Can I recognize anything about the key? Can I need to make a roll? Do I?
Yeah, you can make an expertise magic check. Or,
No,
sorry,
I can't.
expertise occult check.
23.
23. This key is magical in nature, and it seems to open an extra-dimensional door.
That's a key. That's a travel between the worlds kind of key.
Why would they give that
what
to a
this
guard? Sorry.
Go.
No, go.
No, Jason was just gonna try to clarify if that's like sort of the same thing that the speedsters were doing. Like,
I mean, some of them were definitely able to transfer between dimensions.
I mean, we have a Dave. Oh, sorry. Nick wouldn't have done that. We have an overdrive that's not from here. We have multiple frat boys who are either really bad clones or from multiple worlds. They made references to other Nicks and other Tracys. I mean, you look like one of the villains, pointing at Tracy. Yeah, I'm worried about what they're using to power that gate.
Wouldn't it be this purple stuff?
Well, not the actual, but that's the energy that's powering it, the actual physical gateway.
Should
Well,
we
you
be
seem to-
worrying about that? Shouldn't we be just trying to leave and letting the superheroes take care of that?
I mean, they're not here yet. Someone has to stop
And
this
if they
thing.
can take their powers away, well, then the superheroes won't be of much good. We, as far as we know, are the only people on the loose on the inside. I think we need to find out what's going on and do something about it if we can.
And if we want to keep it that way, we better make sure we stay out of the viewpoint of any cameras and we keep it quiet.
Yeah.
Last thing we need is one of those things sneaking up on us again.
Absolutely right.
And it seems like the cameras are running of mystical energy and not electronics, so we can't really hack them per se.
Well, maybe if we trace this back to the source, we can cut off that mystical energy supply, and that will solve perhaps multiple problems.
Yeah, because I think as long as it's running, we're not going to be able to get out.
Right. I agree. I think that's what we need to do.
All right. Well, I'm happy to report that you all have succeeded on your skill challenge. So you are able to succeed at whatever goal you are interested in. Are you all trying to escape the building? Are you trying to find the source of these wires?
I mean, I vote for the source, but I mean it's a group decision.
Jason would vote for source.
Tracy would vote to leave, but she's pretty sure she's overruled.
I don't know. There's Nick and Sophie yet.
Well, she'll vote to leave.
Sophie's gonna look at Nick.
Just looking back and forth between the two of them.
I need to figure out what's going on.
Somehow I had a feeling that was going to be the answer. Fine. We can stay and do the hero's work for them.
Okay, but just keep in mind that if you die, just because I'm a doctor, I can't bring you back to life.
That's why we gave you the body armor.
And I'm dead already.
I wasn't talking to you.
Yeah, apparently ghosts are a thing that a person can become, so I'm a lot less worried right now.
Well, that's good.
If we die, we'll just be ghosts.
All right, well, Overdrive will try and get everybody moving then before there's any more wavering going on. All right, then. Let's get to it.
Perfect. So you all sort of carefully make your way through the facility, making sure not to attract the attention of any of the Codys that are wandering around, following these glowing purple fiber optic cables. As you're making your way deeper in, you do kind of pass through a number of these. This whole facility is definitely some kind of meatpacking plant. There's a lot of conveyor belts, a lot of open exposed brickwork, a lot of concrete floors as you're making your way through. And you can hear the sound of equipment being manufactured around here. As you pass through a couple of these rooms, you see there's massive rooms with tables laid out with Codys arming themselves with weapons. You think you've seen probably 200 or 300 Codys at this point. No word on any other cells or anything like that, but you do make your way deep into the center of this whole massive building, and you find yourself in this hub in the very center, this room that's sort of off on its own. Inside, you see there's a couple of these cables that are coming in and out in various directions of the facility. Inside, as you sneak in, they all sort of meet up in the middle of this. It looks like an old 90s box computer monitor that's glowing with a purple screen. Plugged into that is a purple gemstone, and you do see there is a keyhole on that gemstone. And there's this sort of pulsing energy coming off of the room. You can feel the heat as you're stepping in.
As we were working our way here, did we see anybody else incarcerated?
You didn't see any other cells in here.
Okay. Not even on the way here, even. Okay.
Not on the way here. No.
Okay.
Question for you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Does the gemstone look like something Resonant would own?
The coloring
Base-
is actually. The coloring is not a gem that Nick has seen Resonant have before.
Okay.
But Dave was there, so he would know that this is the same colored gem as the Lafandi gems that Resonant picked up in Subterra when this overdrive first arrived on the scene.
And did we recover all of those?
I think Resonant only took a few of them, and the rest of them are just sort of growing naturally down in Subterra.
Okay. I'll point out that these type were found in Subterra. And then realizing they're giving him strange looks, they may not know what that is.
Isn't this the same kind that Bowman snatched one of right after that battle? Or was that a different kind?
That is the correct kind, yes.
Okay, so then Jason would recognize the thing. Sort of.
Why is Bowman swiping crystals? She looks at Jason.
Oh, was that out loud?
I don't know. Was it? Sorry.
He might have been like, I mean, there might have been a look of recognition on his face briefly. It might have taken him a moment to process, like that chip of rock that he was looking at looks sort of like this thing.
He may have been trying to fashion weapons out of it. Bowman does that sort of thing. He's always preparing for the next fight.
Interesting.
And ice. So are there other people around? Are there Codys around? Are there
Not in this room. This room is empty. You guys could come in here and close the door, and nobody would be able to see what you're up to.
Okay.
Excellent.
So there's a monitor. There's a gemstone. Does it seem to be going and connected to anything else? Does it basically? I'm looking for the giant Stargate gate, which is what Nick expects to see. Whether that's accurate or not, it's what Nick expects to see.
There is no giant Stargate at this time.
Okay.
The monitor does have a keyboard and a mouse as well, and there's a desk and a chair in front of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and look at it.
You said keyboard. Was there also something about a keyhole in the gem itself?
Yes, there's a keyhole in the gem itself.
Okay, I will take out the weird-looking key and see if that looks like that might.
It does look like it fits.
Well,
Are you going to put the key in?
I'll sort of look at the others and then sort of pointedly at Nick, who is, as far as I know, the only one here who has any comprehension of the occult. What do you think, Nick? Is this a good idea or a bad idea?
In the grand scheme of things, Ghostbusters bad.
Right,
Ghostbusters bad.
I wouldn't put anything into that hole until we know what it is exactly we're dealing with. Plus, can we make this room a little bit safer for the rest of us? Make sure those Codys don't just come barging in here?
Does the door lock?
I don't know, does it?
It does not seem to have a lock on the inside.
You can
Is there
find
something
out.
Something we can bar the door with?
Like a wedge a chair under the door? Or
Is there a chair in front of the computer?
There is the chair in front of the computer.
Aha.
Does
Yeah, let's just wedge that like into the door.
Awesome. Nick, as you're looking at the monitor, you do see there's a couple of windows open on it that seem to surveil a number of areas around the facility, and it kind of flickers through different cameras throughout the building. You do see a couple of the cameras are staticky and there's no feed on them, and that appears to be in the direction that you all came from.
Huh.
Other than that, there is a couple of web browsers that you're able to open and look through. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
One is called Foxfire, the other one is called called Cobalt.
Cobalt! And you do have moral support on this, Nick. You'll get a +2 to this roll.
So, investigation, right?
Yes.
14.
Sophie taps you on the back. That didn't look very good. Try that again.
You get a reroll, Nick.
What?
I can't be the only one that noticed those 6 hero points on Sophie's counter.
Dude, yeah, I did too.
I got a 9, so yeah.
19.
Oh, because
Yeah,
it's a reroll.
because it's a reroll. Yep. So with a 19, as you're sort of going through the different programs and things, you do see there it does appear
Keys.
there appears to be a spreadsheet of various. You see numbers and you see names. You see various repeatings of Nick, Tracy, Sophie, Jason, Dave. You see a number of numbers beside them that seem to correlate with dimensions. And you do see that there are red lines above the most recent batch of your names.
So would that mean those numbers correspond to who we are?
You would think so.
See if you can access my number. If this is magic, is it too much to hope that this thing is somehow the manner in which they're cutting off my powers?
Probably, but this is getting way beyond the stuff I'm normally used to. Yeah. Yeah, I want to look for that, and I want to also look to see if there's a. Well, I mean, we've got the terminal here, but there's no gate. There's no entrance way. There's no entrance or exit point. That's the. What is this powering? Like, what are the cables going to? Where's the? Is there a room that has a monitor that has a monitor, like, pointing at Stargate or whatever else?
Yeah, so you start cycling through the different security cameras. And sure enough, you do cycle over to Overlord's throne room, which is on the top level of the meatpacking plant. Looks like it may have once been a administrator's office that's been completely cleared of the cubicles and the filing cabinets and everything, and the makeshift throne has been built in there. Across from that, you do see there is this sort of crystalline portal, quote unquote, archway that's sort of in the shape of a large diamond. You think that might be the Stargate in question.
And Nick knows that's probably not what it's called, but he's going to call it Stargate anyway.
Yep. You also notice that there is a room on this monitor as you're cycling through the different cameras. It looks like this may be Overlord's bedroom. There's a sort of Spartan steel bed cot attached to the wall, a number of different exercise equipments and things like that, and in the middle of his against the back wall of the bedroom, there's a little shelf that has a glowing purple statue on top of it. It's a statue of a woman. Dave, if you want to roll a perception check, you can roll that.
30.
That woman looks like your mom.
Martha. Just kidding. It's a joke, people.
Why did you say that name?
Okay, so I'm guessing with that 30, I'm starting to get a sneaking suspicion who Overlord is.
A sneaking suspicion.
This is bad.
Nick, you also do find some cells that have occupants. As you're cycling through, you do see there's a couple other Daves who are here that have been tied up. There's also a very bedraggled-looking older gentleman with sort of the auburn hair chained to a wall with a like a Hannibal Lecter style mask over his mouth.
And these lists have a distinct lack of Centuria and Bowman on them, right?
They do. You do see a Gemma on the list as well.
Just one?
Just one. And her number seems to correlate with Godspeed and Strikeout's number.
Can we figure out who's in the cells from the spreadsheet? Is there any sort of way to match the, I don't know, recent ones after, like, before us, rather? Or...
Yeah, as you're sort of looking through, you do. It's a little hard to tell the difference between the different Daves. It doesn't seem like they have the cells coordinated with numbers or anything like that. But all of the Daves are from different universes. They have different numbers. But there is one name that has the same number as the rest of you except for your Dave who's with you. And that name is... Kevin, I don't remember what your dad's name is. Death Race, but not Death Race.
Yeah.
Death Race isn't written down.
Daddy Drive.
Did I never
Yeah.
name?
Daddy Drive.
You guys is terrible.
Well, obviously, what's? I'm bad. I apologize. What's Dave's last name?
Collins.
Well, it's obviously Mr. Collins.
It's Phil. Sweetwater Phil Collins. I don't think I ever gave Dad
No given name for
a
Dad.
name. I don't think that's in my background. I think that was one of those "do with this what you will" GM kind of thing.
It's officially Phil Collins.
Yeah, here it is. Death Race, real name unknown, father. There you have it.
Okay, I guess I'll give him a name then.
So Collins is the last name of Overdrive's mother, so
Yeah,
he
he
doesn't
could-
have to have the same last unless she kept her married name, which
I don't
who
think
knows?
she would.
Probably not.
Oh man, I don't even have a list of American names ready to go.
Oh,
Patrick
Thomas.
Collins, Tom Collins.
Terrence East.
Terrence East.
Or Terrence Orr, so his name is Terry Orr. No, that's terrible.
Make it like Jack Eastman or something. Pick two random names.
His name is Cody.
No! This is worse than Empire Strikes Back. You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
Baddie McBad Dad.
His name is Solomon Freeman.
So,
Listen,
Solid Freeman want pants too.
so we know where the bad guy sleeps. We know where the bad guy's drone room is, because he's kind of that kind of potential villain.
I will tell. Well, that's my father. Solomon Freeman.
Oh. So,
Oh, I mean Solomon Powell. That's what I meant.
so
The chat is never wrong.
So Nick's not the only one with dad issues. Okay, good to know.
Why would he be here, Dave?
Well, that you said that's the name of one of the cells.
Yeah, right here. It's on, and I scroll up to the giant Excel doc and
And
go,
there's
yeah.
only one.
Yeah, and it looks like he apparently this weird calculation number, which I'm guessing is like a designation number.
Yeah.
He's at the same one that Tracy, Jason, myself, Sophie, all of us have.
So he's my father from this timeline.
I think that's supposed to be the designation for our Earth.
Or your reality, or whatever we're calling this index.
The 929. Yeah.
Well, if there's one of those, and Overlord's Chamber has a statue of my mother, which my father did have an unhealthy obsession. It's part of the reason she took off on the run. What if, since we're all about extra dimensional duplicates, what if this Overlord is my father from a different reality who's somehow here orchestrating all this mess. He's a speedster too. So
I've
he
heard
would be
weirder.
familiar. He would be familiar with the wellspring of velocity, maybe even understand it better.
And he came here to absorb all the speed from all the speedsters, and they chose to do it in this meatpacking plant here.
Yeah, he's a tad macabre. He doesn't go by the name of Death Race just for laughs.
Okay. How do we? I mean, what do we do now?
Well, we have a choice to make. We can either try to find the way to the throne, just shut down the gate. We can maybe go try to rescue the other hostages. I don't think this points at the computer system will let me message or connect to the send the signal to the Freedom League to let them know where we're at. We don't even know where we're at to tell them to come get us.
Will it give you access to control this facility? Can you do that from this terminal?
Or can you get a location from it? Does it, does the browser know what location we're at if we go to order a pizza?
I mean, this thing looks older than me. I'm not sure.
Hey, Google Earth, where am I at?
You have to click allow location.
Oh, I always forget that step.
Wow, it's weird. It thinks I'm in Detroit, Michigan, no matter where I live.
Well, it is a rock city. Yeah, I mean, I can try. I'm not a computer whiz, though.
I mean, I can
Well,
take
this
a
is
crack at it, but
for
this
the
is
two of you together. I mean, this is magic and tech.
I will stand back and let Jason do tech stuff.
all right. Time to hack some magic.
Quick, give it to the kid.
Come on, Wesley, you can do this.
Who's
Oh no!
who's not been a kid for the last 2 decades because he died when he was in his early 20s.
I mean, yeah, like I can. So, Jason will volunteer to attempt to do some hacking if that will be helpful, or assist with magic checks. But so, what is our intention here? Like, what are we trying to get from this? Because we said like 4 different things.
Well, control of the system, I think, would be paramount if we can pull that off. If we can't, at least where are we? Should be our first 2 priorities. I don't know what the rest of you think, but that's
Getting a location and getting a note, if we can send a message out that could be untraceable, that would be helpful.
Okay, so first I'm going to assume direct control.
I have a feeling that's going to be rather difficult.
Well, I'll see if it works. If not, then I'll at least get a location.
What do you want to try in case it's trapped? You try to take direct control and you trigger the alarm. We've got speedsters breathing down our necks, and for how much longer our heads are attached to our necks.
That's a good call. Let me look for any sort of traps or tracers or sensors or whatever first. Tracker of some sort.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Investigation? That's what you want from me?
Technically, if he was looking for anything on the server or on the system, it would probably be a tech check to check for traps.
I was really hoping that's what it would be.
I thought you were looking on the monitor itself, so go ahead and give me a technology check.
No, I'm applying my full hacker man skills.
I'm hacking magic.
Ooh. No, use a thing. Use a good one.
Hackermancy.
Hackermancy.
Let me try that again.
There you go.
That's a roll. It's a 28.
That's a pretty good roll. So, Jason, you start going through. You do see there is a failsafe that if you were to start messing with like the security footage or bringing anything else online that's sort of mentioned throughout the system logs, that an alarm would be routed to Overlord.
Can I disable the failsafe? Is there a failsafe for the failsafe?
You can disable it with your 28. So you're sort of going through. You disable that. And as you get in, you have the ability to shut off the cameras if you want to. You can open cell doors on the cells that aren't, locked with a manual padlock. You're also able to download a map of the facility to a crystal that you can pull out of the larger crystal.
Cool. That's a nice USB you've got there. So yeah, I do want the map. I could be in. I'll just do this in here. I can shut down the cameras from here. I can also open up those cell doors. Could be a good distraction.
Yes. Is there any way for you to see in this system if this magic system is somehow suppressing the powers? Like, we know some of these prisoners have powers.
Let me see.
There is no log of that happening. It seems, as you're sort of looking through some of the footage, that Overlord is absorbing the power into himself and will have to be vanquished in order to release the powers.
Okay, good news, bad news. Good news, I know where it's happening. Bad news, it's under your dad's butt.
Great.
So...
And that's next, is that next to the gate?
Yes, he is in the throne room right now. Looks like he's brooding at the moment.
Can you control the gate from here?
Let's see. As he types in, I'm doing some movie hacking over here off camera.
You are not able to turn on the gate from here.
No, it doesn't look like a control.
At least not with the controls that you have access to at this moment.
Do we know where we're at?
Uh,
Besides a shitty old meatpacking facility?
You're able to figure out that you are somewhere in Emerald City.
Okay. So I am feeling pretty confident, but not confident enough to take this guy on.
Remembering my time in Emerald City, the fact that there are strange crystals about, am I aware that that's a thing here?
How do you mean?
Part of the setting is that the mountains are laced with
With weird magic crystals?
Yes.
Yes.
Weird magic. There's a term for that, but I don't have my Emerald City book here. Viridian stones or Viridian crystals.
You are aware of that. These are not Viridian crystals, however.
Okay. So these are not the local variety. Okay.
Or if they were, they've been corrupted to be non-Viridian crystals.
Does this building seem... No, it wouldn't be. It's not old enough to be part of the Undercity.
Correct.
So, I mean, we might not be able to stop this guy right now, but we can at least get everybody else out of here, and we know where we are, so...
Yeah.
Well, we could try to get everybody else out of here. We open those cages, all the speed, everyone starts running for their lives in a place that they don't know where they're going. More than likely, they'll get rounded up by the speedsters again relatively quickly. It does afford us quite the opportunity to escape during that time frame, or to make our way deeper into this trap and potentially get ourselves caught. So
Can't just use all those people as bait for our escape.
I wasn't suggesting that we were, though it is an option.
Sounded a little bit like you were suggesting that.
It only sounded that way because that's exactly what would have happened had we just done that.
So we have 2 laser rifles and whatever destructive gear Jason has.
Well, I'm not really carrying explosives on me. That's what we're looking for.
If Overlord is my father, I may be able to distract him long enough for you to do something to sabotage that throne. We need to unseat him and stop this.
As much as I love the fact that you're going all super heroic for you know, your whole bit. The rest of us are just caught up in all of this.
I don't have my powers, and as you can see, there are a lot of innocent people who are getting rounded up. Do you really think it's going to end well if nobody does anything to stop it?
No, but it's not going to end well if we don't get out of here and at least let the rest of your friends know what's going on out here. If nobody makes it out of here alive, either us or any of the people that's been incarcerated by this death race person, they're going to be walking into a trap.
Do you really think we can outrun them?
If we can get far enough outside, there's got to be a way. Don't tell me none of your superhero friends gave you a tracker or a way to contact them. Really? Nobody has a way to contact any of the other supers?
Quick character question. I'm assuming, Alex, they took our phones and stuff away.
Yes, they did.
Normally, I would. I have Mortis on speed dial. Normally,
Well, here I figured they gave you some super high-tech way to contact them, or in your case, some mystical way.
Do I have a Freedom League communicator, or has that been taken as well?
That has been taken.
And I guess, would it be possible for this computer to connect to any sort of outside network without being noticed, or is it just completely sealed off within this building?
It is sealed off within this building.
With your access to the computer, can you tell what would happen if we inserted the key into this crystal?
Give me a sec. Let me ask Jeeves.
I
You
thought it was
appear
the paperclip.
You appear to be trying to stage a coup.
Would you like some help?
yeah. Yes, Clippy, we like all the help we can fucking get. The first time Clippy's ever heard that.
Here I was figuring it was Miss Minutes.
Oh.
We love Miss Minutes.
And but
As
to
you're...
that point,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jonesy.
so to that point, Sophie, I'm sure Tracy's emergency signal has also been taken. We got captured by someone who knows what to take. So we don't. Yes, they took away our emergency ways to contact our signal for Freedom League.
Mine wouldn't have been helpful anyway. This isn't even my overdrive. I don't know where my overdrive is.
All right,
Hey.
fine.
You got some line around here. Maybe yours is in the file. Jason says insensitively.
However, if her overdrive was here.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Wouldn't his number on the spreadsheet have matched up with everybody else's? With yours, if he were here, wouldn't you be able to verify that he was here?
I didn't see him on the list.
Oh, well, maybe that's a good sign. He's out there somewhere.
Is there anybody on that list that would be helpful if we were to free them?
Well, we don't know how the powers are being expressed, so I doubt it.
Is it their power? Is it just that he stole the speedster's power, or is it anybody else? Is there anybody else on that list that's not one of the four of us? Sorry, not
There was
counting.
a Gemma
And that would be...
resident.
Oh, you just quickly give up their secret identity like that?
Why, yes. Not that you're aware of that.
Does the one person that wouldn't have had an emergency communicator?
So, would they be helpful?
Yes, Gemma would be very helpful. Pointing at the giant crystal sitting next to the computer.
If this Gemma is actually on our side.
Right, it
Well-
could be a different one.
Do you have
Yes.
access?
Because the bad guy's name is on there. So it doesn't differentiate between good people and bad people. So maybe this Gemma is working for him.
I've dealt with more than a few bad people, and as long as you both take the same other person, they tend to be willing to work with you.
But what if she doesn't hate him?
She wouldn't be a prisoner if she didn't hate him.
We don't know she's a prisoner.
I thought the spreadsheet indicated whether someone was a prisoner or not.
Does it say that she's a prisoner?
It does not
No,
say
it
that
can't.
everybody on the list is a prisoner.
True.
It seems to be a portal log of some sort.
A portal log?
Logging who has come to the portal and from where. Because Godspeed and Strikeouts were on there as well.
Oh.
That's true.
Does it so it doesn't list a location in the facility where the person is?
No. It just
You
lists point of origin.
Jason, do you have access to the cameras with this computer?
Sure do.
Can you use the computer to search through the various images to find someone on the list?
I can try. If there's cameras within the cells.
Well, just look for any of the women prisoners that don't look like Tracy.
Okay.
Why don't one of you just watch if you know who you're looking for? Point it out when he gets to the right camera.
Yes.
So he'll just tap through the cameras, I assume, pressing one of the arrow keys.
Yep. So, Jason, you're going through the cameras, and you do see Gemma in this sort of, long black necromancer outfit. And she is walking up to the door of the room that you are standing in and getting ready to knock on it. And that's where we're going to break.
I told you.
You are so evil. You are so evil.
Ooh. Necromancer resonant.
So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. We're going to get up and stretch our legs and go get a snack
Yes,
and refill our waters. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight with our slightly less powerful superheroes.
Slightly.
Lately?
Not superheroes.
We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.